What is up, guys? Today we're going to be covering the NBA All-Star. While I'm going to run down all the All-Stars, my opinion on them on the All-Star game, and who I think was possibly snub in the All-Star game. Starting with the two captains, which is LeBron James and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis is very much well-deserved, having one of the best seasons of his career, averaging 32, 12, and 6. But LeBron James is a little bit questionable. I know it's definitely just a popularity contest at this point, but if I'm looking at the best players in the Western Conference, I'm not putting LeBron James up there. I don't even know if I would have him a starter personally, but that's definitely up for people to decide. This year he's averaging 25, 7, and 7, which is undeniably really solid, but he's on a below 500 team. So I just don't think he deserves to be a starter. But I mean, it's LeBron. What are they going to do? Not vote him as a captain? They're obviously going to vote him as a captain. He probably should also be a starter. That's definitely up for debate. There are just so many players in the West that are better than LeBron, but I do think he deserves to be an All Star, obviously. But depends on how you look at it. Next up is Luka Doncic, who is averaging 35, 10, and 9, which is insane to think about. He's one of the best players we've ever seen. The Mavericks aren't great, but they're still trying their hardest. I really like this team. I really like this team. I really like Derek Lively. I think Luka Doncic, he just scored 73. He's one of the best players in the league. He definitely deserves to be here. KD, averaging 29, 6, and 6. One of the best seasons of his career. He's been historically efficient and is looking like one of the best three-point shooters in the league this season, which is really impressive to think about. I really like him. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's on an MVP-like tear right now. The MVP is actually much more up to grabs because Joel Embiid is having one of the best seasons ever. But the fact that Shai could possibly snag that MVP, it depends on how the record goes for the rest of the season, him versus Jokic. I think he has a somewhat of a chance of snagging that MVP. He's averaging 31, 6, and 6, leading the league in steals. One of the really solid players in this league. I think him versus Jokic is a tight race at this point now that Embiid is not going to throw 65 games. He's severely injured, torn meniscus, I believe. I think it's just very interesting to think about. Next up, we already covered LeBron. Next up, Nikola Jokic. He's looking elite this year. One of the best passing years of all time. He's such a good passer. He's such a good rebounder. He's historically efficient. I just really, really like Nikola Jokic. The starters are pretty normal on the Western side, around what I would have picked. I'm not putting Steph Curry over Doncic or Shea. I'm not putting Ant over LeBron. I don't think. The only one I could consider is putting Kawhi over LeBron. That might be a hot take, but I'm a big Kawhi fan. He's elite defensively. LeBron's playing no defense this year, and he's way more efficient than LeBron. But that's definitely up for debate. Next up, we're going to the Eastern side of the All Stars. We got Giannis, who already covered. Joel is having a historic season. He's gonna have to have an injury replacement considering he's injured, but he is averaging 35, 11, 2 blocks, and 6 assists a game. Tyrese Halliburton, he's looking scary. He's averaging 23, 12 assists. He's looking like one of the best players in the league right now. And I think he has potential to be a Hall of Famer and eventually maybe an MVP. Next up, someone I think is a little bit interesting to see as a starter. Not someone who I necessarily would have put there, being Damian Lillard, averaging 25, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds on pretty not the greatest efficiency. I definitely think he could be better this year. And personally, I'd put him as probably my fourth best guard in the East. I barely have him as an All Star. No, maybe my fifth. No, probably my fourth. It's all up for grabs between him and Tyreek Maxey as my fifth best guard in the East. But he's been elite. He's just getting less touches. His passing has gone up. Obviously, he has one of the best scorers on the league on his team. Honestly, I think I'd probably put D Mitch there. He's the best defender out of the guards in the East. He is averaging 28 a night, but we'll get into that right after. Jason Tatum, obviously the best forward in the league right now. Not the best forward in the league, sorry, the best forward in the East. The best small forward, averaging 27, 4 assists, 8 rebounds. Looking really good. Now this is where we get to the reserves. That's where it gets exciting. I actually find the results really interesting. That Devin Booker, who I definitely just think deserves it, is averaging 28, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. One of the most complete stat lines we've seen from him in a while. We have Steph Curry's also averaging 28. He's averaging 4 rebounds and 5 assists. I think those two are very comparable. I definitely have Devin Booker higher because Devin Booker's on a better team. Definitely, granted, he has way more help. Steph Curry's teammates cannot do anything. Last night against Trae Young and the Hawks, that was painful to watch. He dropped 60 and they still lost by like 7. Frankly, embarrassing. Clay shot 2 for 13 from deep. Like, what is he doing? And that's a bit of a side tangent. Anthony Davis, he's playing at like one of the best levels we've seen him play at. He's averaging 25 and 12, 2.5 blocks. He's looking really good. These players, I feel like, have no debate for not being an All-Star game. Anthony Edwards, he's a bit of a walk too, averaging 26, 5 and 5. Outstanding play from him. Paul George, that's someone who I think actually didn't deserve all. Um, Considering I think he's a wild card spot. Yes, I think he is. Him and Karl Anthony Towns, who I'll get to later. I think I think we definitely should have had Sabonis over him. He's definitely very good. He's on a very good team, but I'd rather have Sabonis or De'Aaron Fox over him. Considering there's no injury replacements on the team for the Western side, I think it's very, very. I think. Well, I don't think the Clippers need 2 All-Stars. They're a very well-rounded squad. They have so many players that are really elite. They have Harden, but Harden's not even close to being an All-Star. Right? Okay. Next up, Kawhi, we already covered him. Really good, averaging 24, 6 and 4. One of the best, one of the most efficient seasons of his career. Really impressive. We got Karl Anthony Towns. While he's been really efficient and the best defense he's ever played, I also don't think he deserves it. I would have given it to De'Aaron Fox. I'm not even gonna lie. De'Aaron Fox averaging 28, 4 and 5 on elite efficiency, almost 40% from deep. And Sabonis averaging 20, 13, and 8 on 40% from deep and 62% from the field. I think these two players deserve it more than Karl Anthony Towns and Paul George, but that's just me. Next up, Eastern Conference reserves. Um, Bam Adebayo, he's had a outstanding season, averaging 21 and 11, 4 assists. All defensive caliber player this season. Paolo Banchero, who I'm really excited to see in the All-Star game this season. He's averaging 23, 7 and 5 assists and 10. That's insane for a sophomore in this NBA. Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown, he's the second best player on the Celtics, I think. I'm not the biggest fan of Jaylen Brown personally. He collapses in the playoffs a lot. He he's good. He's definitely a good player. I don't know if he's all-star caliber. He probably is, but he's a bit iffy for me. I'd definitely rather have players like um Trae Young and like Scotty Barnes over him. But that's just 2%. Just me. Um, Next up, he is on the best team in the league, so it would make sense if we get 2 All-Stars. It'd be weird for the best team in the league only to get 1 All-Star. So I get where they're coming from. Derek White does not have an All-Star. I don't know what people are yapping about. He's not an All-Star caliber player. He's very good role player. He's not at that level yet. Next up, Jalen Brunson, who's averaging 27, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds. I love Jalen Brunson. He's so good. I'm a Knicks fan, so I'm gonna like Jalen Brunson, but he's looking super good. He's for sure breaking out. He's one of the best players in this league. He should be an all NBA caliber player, I think, possibly. Next to Tyrese Maxey, I also really like Tyrese Maxey. I'd say he's a little bit worse than Jalen Brunson, but he's still an elite player in this league. Um, Donovan Mitchell, really, really good. Really, really good. Averaging 28. The Cavs are red hot right now. The Cleveland Cavaliers are one of the best players in the league. They just beat the Clippers. They're like, they're going absolutely mental. They're 23 and 6, and they're insane right now. They are 14-1 in their last 15 games. That's how elite this team has of late. And this is all without Evan Mobley, which is actually crazy to think about, considering Evan Mobley is like the defensive guy on this team. And Jarrett Allen, he's been elite too. Like he's been one of the most. He's been super good defensively. He's been so good in the absence of Evan Mobley. It's been impressive. Makes me want to put him in my All Star snubs. I'm not gonna, but we'll get to that later. Next up, Julius Randle. I think this one's a little bit. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm not the biggest Julius Randle fan. I'm gonna be honest. He's not the best basketball IQ. I see him running at the basket. He has a lot of turnovers. It's really happy because he's actually shooters. But he's not going to play in the All-Star game, obviously, because he's injured. I hope that goes well for him. But I'm going to go over the snubs on the Eastern Conference now. Most notably, Trae Young. He's averaging 27, 11 on solid efficiency, and he's not an All-Star. It's his second year in a row. He's averaging like 11 assists, 25 points per game. He's not an All-Star, which is insane. I'm not the big Trae Young guy, but I do think he should have been an All-Star. He'll probably get in for injury replacement to replace Embiid and Randall. The next guy I think could be a All-Star snub is Scotty Barnes. He's averaging 21, 8, and 6, or 28 and 6. He's really efficient, shooting 36% from deep and 48 from the field. He's looking like one of the best players in the league right now. The team isn't great, but he's still doing really solid. He's doing what they need him to be doing as a team. He's the franchise guy for this team now, and I'm really excited for the future. Someone I think is a bit of a snub. I don't know if I would have put him on my All-Star team. That's Mikal Bridges. He's averaging 22, 5, and 4. I expected a little bit more of a jump from him, but he's definitely really good, and I like him as a player a lot. Um, Thank you guys for watching. If you guys agreed with any of my takes or disagreed with me, please tell me. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye bye.